In this video tutorial, we are going to build the organizational chart that you see on your screen. We used MindFusion Diagramming library for Blazor to create composite nodes that hold both text and an image. We arranged the diagram using the tree layout, which we customized through its properties. The org chart web app also has zoom capabilities. We can choose between two types of Blazor projects. The diagram component works equally well with both of them. We choose Blazor standalone WebAssembly. After we create the project, we need to install the Blazor diagram component from NuGet. We search for it and add it to the project packages. The next step is to add references to all namespaces, both from MindFusion and system assemblies, that we are going to use. The online documentation features detailed articles on how to integrate the diagram control into both types of projects, so you can just follow the steps. We need to add now the diagram view component, which renders the diagram. In the Getting Started guide, you can see how to initialize the diagram and set its properties. We simply paste the sample code. Now we should already be able to have diagramming capabilities in our app. Let's try it. Yes, we are able to draw basic nodes and connect them, so we have successfully integrated the library into our project. The next thing to do is create a composite node that will represent an employee in the organization. Again, the online documentation provides pretty good reference regarding the steps needed to be taken in order to create such nodes. A composite node includes various components: border, edit, image, text, numbers, and more. They are listed in the documentation. You can declare the node layout in XML, or you can do it in code, just like you would do in XAML. Let's declare a special method for creating composite nodes, e.g., employees. We need an ID, the name of the person, and their job title. Then we create the composite node and assign it to the ID. The ID is an important part because, thanks to the findNodeById method, you can search for any node in the diagram. Each composite node needs to have a layout panel. We will use a grid in our case, but there are a variety of options, as you can see in the online documentation. The images of the employees, together with some fancy font definitions, are contained within two folders, which we copy into the project directory. Note that we need to set the build type to those files to be embedded resource and load them as a stream from the project assembly. Regarding the fonts, we can load just one. Let's say the regular Open Sans fonts. Now we can add an image component to our composite node and assign the employee image to it. The image also needs to be loaded from a stream. The image source needs to be Skia image. Let's test our method now and create the first employee node for the diagram. We pick up a random name and call the createEmployee method. Let's not forget to add the new node to the collection of nodes in the diagram. Yes, the node is visible. For now, it's just an image, but that's exactly what we have created. Let's add a border around the node so we can see its boundaries. The border component, as the name suggests, defines a border in CompositeNode-s. It needs to have the grid as its content, and we need to add the border instead of the grid to the list with components for the composite node. Okay, our node is rendered with a border now, so we can go on adding the text components. As you might remember from the final chart, there were two types of text, so we are going to use two text components. The first one uses a bigger font and is for the name. We place it in a stack panel, so they can be arranged under each other. Then we add the panel to the second column of the grid. Let's load the fonts to make sure the employee text appears in a pretty font. We need to read them from the assembly, just like the images. So, our nodes have text now. We add the second text component to the stack panel, and with that, we are ready with the composite node. Time to declare the employee data. We keep the employee names, titles, and IDs in arrays. The IDs reflect the department the employee works for. We cycle through all employees and create a composite node for each person. Of course, created this way, the nodes will simply be piled on top of each other in one corner of the diagram. We need to arrange them, but in order to do that, we need to connect them. All employees are connected to their boss. Inside a department, we use the Layout Traits property to tell the chosen automatic layout algorithm that we have special requirements regarding the arrangement of this node. In our case, we tell the tree layout that the employees are assistant nodes, which places them closer to the boss node rather than spreading them in a row. Now we can connect all nodes in the diagram, department by department. Each layout algorithm has a variety of properties for fine-tuning their result. In our case, we use the properties of the tree layout to specify the direction of the graph, the space between nodes, and more. Now, as you see, thanks to the layout traits, the nodes are grouped under the boss. If we turn the property off, they will spread on the next level, which will give us a broad diagram. The links of the diagram need styling. Luckily, the diagram link style property exposes all important fields to customize a link. A similar property is available for nodes, should you need it. Diagram node style. Now we have to add zoom capabilities to the diagram and we are ready. We use a standard Blazor input number component, which we bind to a variable. The diagram view also has a zoom factor field, which we bind to the same variable. So, whenever the user changes the value through the number input, the zoom factor of the diagram changes accordingly. And with that, our web application is ready. We have just built an interactive org chart in Blazor using the diagramming component. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your interest in MindFusion developer tools.